Hey, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's online morning show. Let me just give you a brief yesterday. Now, the city of Blue Ridge has upcoming elections for all of their city council members and the mayor. And obviously, there's certain rules that apply to being eligible to run for these positions, these offices. I understand, this is my understanding. Let me take this next segment and say that, I cannot get a lot of information in some ways where council member Angie Arp is concerned. She does not communicate with me, I guess I understand she's not going to. It's my understanding that Councilwoman Angie Arp led the way to push for an investigation into Jane Whaley's eligibility to run for city council. Now, the reason I'm going with this is out of all the council candidates, there's 10, right? There's 10 and 2 mayor candidates. So there's 12 people out there. Jane Whaley is singled out as the one that they're going to investigate to challenge her eligibility to run for office. Now, that pressure, Barbie Gerald is the supervisor, the election supervisor in the city of Blue Ridge. I want to say before we start, I want everybody out there to understand something, okay? No matter what happens after the decision is made or during the decision, no matter what took place during the investigation or yesterday, Barbie Gerald is in a bad position. She's a very nice person, okay? She is. She's a nice person. She is a good person, okay? But if you were having the pressure come down on you, supposedly from Angie Arp, supposedly from City Attorney David Siphon, supposedly from Chief of Police Johnny Searcy, if the pressure on you allegedly was as, not alleged, if we knew the intensity, okay? We know that things have been said, but if the pressure supposedly was as hard on you to make a decision to investigate somebody as it has been on Barbie Gerald, this person's just doing their job. The city appointed her the election supervisor. 2 days of training. When asked yesterday if she had ever done this before, no. What was her qualifications? Now, I want to make sure that I look in the camera and tell you that no matter what I say, am I questioning her qualifications or what she was given the duty to do? When you're sent to be the election supervisor, and there's a vote on council to make you the election supervisor, you got to do the duty that they ask you to, and she's doing the best of her abilities. My opinion is she's doing the best of her ability outside of the pressure that's on her, okay? If you don't believe there's pressure on this lady, okay, show the, I think it's Barbie, the picture of Barbie 1, okay? Now, this is not the greatest picture, but I'm at the end of the table, and I want to tell you something. We were there from 10 o'clock. Now, this lady has her hands folded and her head down in her hands, okay? I was at the end of the table. I am just disgusted by the position this lady's been put in. If there's any truth that this investigation came on the pressure of Angie Arp, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because let me tell you something. If Miss Arp is the one, Angie Arp, that put this lady, Barbie Gerald, in this position yesterday, you should be ashamed. Because let me tell you something. I sat at the end of a table, at the other end of the room, directly across from this lady, not to the side. And when she looked up, she was basically looking in the direction of myself, and I was looking back at her. And what this lady endured. Now put the second picture up. I got a second one there. I forget what it says, Barbie 2. That was not very clear, but Barbie's at the end of the table, and what I wanted you to see there, which is not very good on the screen, but what I wanted you to see is to the left is an attorney. Okay, I think to my left is Frank Moore. Frank Moore is the attorney for Jane Whaley. To the right, on the other side of the table, is David Siphon. David Siphon's the attorney for the city of Blue Ridge. Okay? Here are two attorneys that have the time, education, that have gone through law school, with a lady that has had 2 days of training. When she was asked, how long have you done this? I've never done this before. What's your qualifications? 2 days. 2 days of training. Now, like I said when I started, this is not negative to Barbie Gerald in any way whatsoever. I mean, I have to tell you straight up, I mean, I said at the end of the table, I was heartbroken for this lady. I'm going to tell you. I mean, I just was. I stood at the end of that table and I just thought, wow, who put this lady in this position and put this much pressure on this lady with 2 attorneys? Now, I have the video. It'll take me a while to process it if you want to see this. But you're going to see in the video some things that validate what we've tried to tell you for years. First of all, David Siphon knows there is a long list. He is the city attorney for Blue Ridge City Attorney. He knows for years there's a long list of citizens, and I have called for it right here from this table for his removal as city attorney. I believe that the city of Blue Ridge, he should be gone tomorrow. He knows that. I am respectful when I see him. I say, how you doing, sir? He's respectful back. But he knows very clear that there's a long list of citizens that want him removed as city attorney, in my opinion, for a good reason. For good reason, okay? Angie Arp does not want him removed. He knows. He was asked yesterday by Frank Moore multiple times over and over that Angie Arp had a voting block and that David Siphon was there to defend that voting block, and that was his reason for challenging Jane Whaley to run in fear of Angie Arp losing her voting block, which her voting block always consisted of Bruce Pack and Rodney Kendall, which will no longer be on the council anymore. And they are doing everything, folks. You need to know. They are doing everything to save their voting block. And what they're trying to save is I do not have, let me see how I frame this up. They're trying to save this voting block, Police Chief Johnny Searcy's job. And I'm going to talk about that in my next little segment. Police Chief Johnny Searcy's job, they're trying to save in this voting block. They're trying to save David Siphon's trying to do everything to save his job. Now, I understand, I don't know, check it out, that actually when you ask how did David Siphon get to the city of Blue Ridge and become the city attorney, I don't know, some have told me, said Johnny Searcy. I don't know if that's true or not. But there's a block that they're trying to save. Angie Arp, the pressure that was put on Barbie Gerald yesterday was just wrong. And Angie Arp, if you did that is bad. Here's this other problem. Why Jane Whaley? Now, I don't have time to go into 8 hours of the actual 8 hours of the actual events that took place. But why Jane Whaley? And are they discriminating against Jane Whaley? Because let me tell you something. Frank Moore brought up other residents, or let me rephrase that. Frank Moore brought up other candidates that claim their residency is in the city of Blue Ridge. That they are ready to go to court. Now, this is not in the video, but you pick it up. They're ready to go to court maybe and say that Miss Whaley was discriminated against. Oh, I heard against her constitutional rights. I heard all that yesterday for 8 hours. We come back. I'm going to take a brief break. When we come back, we're going to talk about this potential lawsuit with the city of Blue Ridge, and I'm going to go a little further into yesterday's hearing of the eligibility of Jane Whaley being able to run for office. And Councilwoman Angie Arp, how do these people continue to do what I think, because I don't know anymore in this world, unethical things or things that would cause for them to have to recuse themselves, and they just care less, could care less what they do. I'm your host, BKP. We'll be back right after these messages. All right, folks, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, I'm going to tell you something before I read into this letter that I want to talk about with Johnny Searcy, Chief of Police in Blue Ridge. President Trump has tweeted out, the NFL has all sorts of rules and regulations. The only way out for them is to set a rule that you can't kneel during the national anthem. Okay, that's going to spin the heads off of, you know, well, didn't they do things like that? Didn't the Nazis set rules like this? So their heads are going to spin off today over this. But I want to say something, and I want to see if you figure it out. Richie, don't Google this. If you Google this, I'm going to be mad. But here's the clue. Donald Trump's going for 2. He's going for 2 points here. He's going for 2. That's the clue. What direction am I going with that? Don't Google it. If you do.
Do you want me to answer?
Well, do you have the answer?
The clue, this is like a riddle of sorts?
Yeah.
Donald Trump is going for 2?
Yeah.
But he just scored a touchdown?
Yeah, he's going for 2.
He's one-upping, doubling up. I don't know.
I can't give you the answer now. Don't Google it.
Okay, I won't.
Donald Trump's going for 2. Okay? All right, we're back. Do you understand what I'm saying? Donald Trump's going for 2. If you do, send me a text, 706-889-9700.
2 points are better than 1?
Nope. Donald Trump's going for 2. He's going to show the NFL what's best. He is going to help the NFL make a decision. He's going to go for 2. Let's leave it alone. Let's leave it alone for right now. Okay, folks, you know, we did the interview. We had an interview here a couple days ago with Patrick Crane. We're still working on some things with that story. But this is what happens when somebody's in fear of losing their job. This is what happens. Russell Stuckey, the attorney, he sent a ante litem notice on behalf of Blue Ridge City Police, Johnny Searcy, and Corporal Michael Green, and the City Police. Here are their list of demands. This notification that a suit may be filed against the City of Blue Ridge, Mayor Whitener, Councilmember Rhonda Thomas, for the following reasons. Here's the following reasons he's going to file suit. Johnny, this is absolutely, really, are you really serious? And your entire professional career, just saying, this is what it comes down to. That you have, let's just go through this. Mayor Whitener and Council Member Thomas have continually, intentionally interfered with operations of Blue Ridge Police Department over the past 7 years. How? Did they want to look in the damn evidence room? I don't know. What'd they do? Did they want to look at the citation books, Johnny? Remember the audit? Remember the citation books out of order? Remember when everybody was just coming in and picking up a different citation book and the auditor said, oh, Johnny's citations, you know, you go from number 1, 2, 3, 12, 16, 17, 18. Really, Johnny? Maybe they wanted to look at the citation books. Huh. Maybe they wanted to look at how you purchased the new guns, had to write the check back to the city. I don't know. The evidence, maybe there's, I don't know, Johnny. You tell me. Tell me. Because supposedly Mayor Whitener and Councilmember Thomas have continually and intentionally interfered with operations of the Blue Ridge Police Department over the past 7 years. We'll just stick with the citation books, Johnny. We'll go with that one. Mayor Whitener and Councilmember Thomas have interfered without legal justification or authority, and did so for political and personal motives. Oh no! Political and personal motives have interfered with... Wait a minute, Johnny! Hold on there, Johnny. Johnny, I tell you, Mayor Whitener and Councilmember Thomas have interfered with legal justification or authority and did this for political and personal motives against Blue Ridge City Police Johnny Searcy, hereafter Chief Searcy, and his department. No, Johnny, you're going door to door wearing your uniform, campaigning for personal motive. Johnny, really? Come on, Johnny. Chief, I'm sorry, I don't mean, well, I do mean to laugh because it's laughable. Chief Searcy and Blue Ridge Police Department are charged with I can't see that. Duties. Oh, I got it. Duties to protect the lives and property of the citizens of Blue Ridge, Georgia, and have been hindered by the intentional efforts of Mayor Whitener and Councilmember Thomas in performing their duties. What did they do, Johnny? I mean, how did they hinder all those drug investigations you got going on? How did they hinder all of those sting operations you have going on? How did they hinder all of those major... I understand now that the department is heading up a cat removal division. Yes. You're going to get those bad cats out of town. Okay. Number 4, Mayor Whitener and Councilmember Thomas intentionally interfered with officers doing their sworn duty in an effort to obstruct justice. Johnny, how did they interfere, obstruct justice? Justice, the guy gave somebody a middle finger, allegedly. They interfered with an investigation. You have the nerve to call an intentional interference with an officer doing his sworn duty. His sworn duty? Come on, man. This gets better. Mayor Whitener and Councilmember Thomas intentionally interfered with the officer. Oh, I already read that one, right? Yeah. Every, and all actions of Mayor Whitener. Every, and all. This gets better. Every, and all actions of Mayor Whitener and Councilmember Thomas have violated this code they have down here. Mayor Whitener and Councilmember Thomas have failed in their sworn duty in their office in specific acts of unlawful conduct inside the following. The date of Saturday, August 19th. Now, this is the date in question. This is the date where Patrick Crane and they supposedly went down that night to the police station. Place of injury. This is where they were injured, folks. This is where the poor corporal, I don't care. What the hell? They don't like me. Really? Really? What can I do to get these guys to like me? Now, they know, everybody out there knows, I am very pro-law enforcement. I'm behind them all the way. But this is over a guy allegedly giving the middle finger to another guy, Steve Setzer, which we all know Mr. Setzer, right? Place of injury, Blue Ridge Police Department. It involved Mayor Whitener and Member Thomas. Intentional acts causing the injury. They caused injury, okay? Mayor Whitener and Council Member Thomas arrived at the Blue Ridge City Police Department on the night of August 19, 2017. They approached several officers demanding police evidence in a hostile and threatening manner. You got in a hostile and threatening manner. These two women come in the police station. Hostile and threatening. Oh my God, hostile and threatening manner. Both Mayor Whitener and Council Member Thomas threatened the officers if the officers did not provide Mayor Whitener and Member Thomas with what they were requesting. When Corporal Michael Green refused to speak with them any longer without an attorney present. We're going to come, ready? When Corporal Michael Green refused to speak with them any longer without an attorney present, Council Member Thomas used unprofessional and obscene language, calling Corporal Green a son of a bitch. Well, there it is again. Well, you old son of a bitch. How did she say it? Because, you know, I'm telling you, it's like the middle finger, you know. How did she say it? Did she say, well, you old son of a bitch? Or did she say, you son of a bitch? Or how did she say it? If she allegedly did, did she draw her eyes down? I'm telling you what, you son of a bitch. I want to know exactly how that went down. Because this is a serious investigation. Because it's worth $1 million. I mean, hell, in Blue Ridge, it's like a friggin' Wheel of Fortune. And they're trying to hit the $1 million, the green thing. I mean, first it was the N-word in Fannin County. And you got Ray Green thinking it's the damn Wheel of Fortune. I swear to God, they're crazy as friggin' hell up there. So you got Wheel of Fortune spinning around. You got the N-word. So hopefully, oh my God, the N-word. Spin again. Oh, remove Judge Weaver from office. Spin again. Oh, you know, get rid of Judge Bradley. Spin again. Oh, get rid of the sheriff. Oh, spin again. Oh, we landed on the green $1 million wedge. Well, you see, you got to have the $1 million wedge. You got to go all the way to the end to solve the damn prize or something, whatever the hell happens, right? So I don't know how Wheel of Fortune works, but anyhow, they got the $1 million. So the N-word didn't pay off for Ray Green the $1 million. Remember that million? A gajillion dollars. Ray Green didn't get the $1 million on the N-word. So hell, moving right along, then you know you got the supposedly a journalist, an investigative journalist, okay, and supposedly he gets his ass tossed in jail, and oh my God, we've offended him, and we've his civil rights. So he spins the Wheel of Fortune. He's got it going around, and he says, oh, you cost me money. I need $1 million. Well, now here's our latest contestants. These are our latest contestants. I feel like Pat Sajak or something. These are our latest contestants. Johnny Searcy. Let me introduce you. Johnny, how are you tonight? Well, I'm fine, man. I've been the chief of police of the city of Blue Ridge for so many years. And what are you here for tonight? Because I'm going to spin that wheel for $1 million because, no, wait a minute. This is Corporal Green because I've been called a son of a bitch. All right, anyhow, oh my God, freaking, these people are going crazy, folks, crazy. Did I tell you they've gone crazy? All right, let me get back to this. Oh my God, and I didn't even want to come and do this show today. I know, I love you guys out there, but I'm tired, man. They wore me down yesterday in that meeting. All right, when Corporal Green refused to speak to them, Rhonda Thomas said, well, you dare, you son of a bitch. That's allegedly, okay? Mayor Whitener threatened Chief Searcy. Chief, why are you here tonight? Well, I'll tell you why I'm here. My job's on the line. Chief Searcy. Mayor Whitener threatened Chief Searcy's job in a hostile manner. Stating she was tired of Johnny and all his SHIT. Can't say that on the air, but you can spell it right. Johnny, she said she was tired of Johnny. She was tired of Johnny and all of his SHIT. He is going to be gone. See Blue Ridge Police Department incident report here too. Now, I mean, the only thing I'm thinking is, how did I miss this show that night? I mean, these two hostile women walk in, and you're sitting there. I would have tased their asses. I swear to God. If I'm an officer, why don't you just tase their ass? Maybe, I don't know. Why don't you just tase them? Or, hell, throw the cuffs on them. Throw them in there, arrest them. You could get a warrant. You got a warrant for Patrick Green for flying the bird of paradise, right? And Steve Setzer. Right? That's what you got a warrant there. I mean, my God, if you can get a warrant for a guy allegedly waving the middle finger to another guy, why can't you get a warrant for these two hostile broads? That's what we're going to call them. These are two hostile broads walked in. Hey, magistrate, I got two hostile broads. I don't want to tase them, but I need a warrant. One called me a son of a bitch. Where the hell's this story going? It's so damn crazy. All right, here we go. Now, and you know why? Because Johnny doesn't want to lose his job. It's a gravy train. The gravy's up. It's up. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. It's up. The voting block could be up. Siphon could be, he could have to back down from the BMW. He may have to back down. Have to go home to have a talk with the family. We might have to back a couple of these things down because I don't have $200,000 coming in, or allegedly that much. I gotta say allegedly. Why the hell do I have to say allegedly 90 times a show? Based on the foregoing, the city of Blue Ridge, Mayor Whitener and Council Member Thomas are liable for. Here's what they're liable for: police officer harassment. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Police officer harassment. Intentional, let me see. I think it's intentional and negligent inflection. Inflection of emotional distress. Are you emotional distress? Oh my God, I tell you what. I'm sorry. Emotional distress upon government employees, threat of wrongful termination, hostile work environment, unlawful abuse of power. I think this is I can't see that. It's blurry on the screen. Let's see. What do they look? Let's see. The statute dictates that the anteliminum notice specifies the amount of money damages consistent with the requirement. We note that the amount of damages associated with the claims date are $1 million. $1 million bucks. I tell you what, I swear to God, I'm going to get a friggin' green wedge. That green Wheel of Fortune wedge with all the sparkles that says $1 million, I'm going to go give it to Johnny. I swear to God. Or just put it up in the city of Blue Ridge or Fannin County. Oh my God, $1 million. I got to take a break. This is the funniest damn thing. This is the funniest damn thing I've ever read. Look, folks, before I go, now let me try to ratchet this down and get serious. This is not a joke. This is flat out not a joke. This is my opinion. God knows, get the legal pads out. My opinion, there's an opportunity in this next election to clean up corruption that must be dealt with. It's my opinion. My opinion is there are an enormous several layers of corruption in the city. That's my opinion, okay? My opinion is that the FBI, the GBI, the district attorney, it's time for this to be taken serious. And my opinion is this next election that these candidates that win, this certain slate of candidates, if they win, should be held responsible for knowing before they go in office that there's several multi-layers of corruption that need to end, okay? So don't look at me and tell me that you want to put a swing set in. Don't say grant money. I get so damn tired of hearing grant money. How many grants you can get. I do know we need to fix the infrastructure. I know that. I'm not glossing over all the things that really need to be done. But I'm tired of hearing about swing sets, sliding boards. I'm tired of hearing about that. I'm tired of hearing about so many of these things going on until they step up and realize that there's several layers of corruption that I personally feel, of my opinion, need to be cleaned up immediately in Blue Ridge. And I think Johnny Searcy, for having the nerve to do this and claim that these ladies, I mean, he doesn't like these ladies, they don't like him, okay, big deal, all right? I mean, it just happens. But let Mr. Searcy come back and tell you everything about citations. Let's, if you want to sue them for your $1 million, let's get GBI to go completely through that department. And I don't mean a little bit, thoroughly through. Let's get the FBI into that city. I'm serious as can be. Serious as can be. I'm going to take a break. I've run out of time. I did not intend for that letter to be that humorous, but they are attempting to sue the city. The Johnny Searcy is attempting to sue the city. Maybe this is his retirement fund he's going to put away. Maybe that's what it is. Because let me tell you something. This is not uncommon. It's not unusual for when someone, much like the chief of police of Blue Ridge, feels that the next council may remove this person and put somebody new in, to come up with something like this quickly to make sure they're trying. He's trying job security. Why are they working so hard? We'll take a break. I got something on David Siphon I want to talk about. He didn't answer a question yesterday because he kept saying, I'm not the one on trial here today. I'm not the one that's answering questions today. But we have the video and the transcript. Be right back after these messages. In the hearing with David Siphon, City Attorney David Siphon, it became very obvious that he was running the hearing, and we had to keep going back to who was running the hearing, Barbie or David Siphon. Okay, so it kept coming to that, and it kept coming to that. So here is the thing, the question that was asked. Has David Siphon ever, this is what caught my interest, has so many things, but has David Siphon ever represented Angie Arp, Councilwoman Angie Arp, personally, or one of her businesses? He would not answer the question. Now, in testimony in the Ada Street LLC lawsuit, it became pretty clear that in that testimony that David Siphon had represented a council member, Angie Arp, or one of her businesses. How could David Siphon sit there when Angie Arp is the one that is pushing, Councilwoman Angie Arp, we're told, is the one that is pushing this investigation into Jane Whaley's legitimacy to run for city council? Why would he then not recuse himself? So I think what's interesting that we're going to have to pay attention to in this hearing is when it comes down, there's another person. I'm going to wait for the answer before I bring up the other person. There was another person that's running for office, a second person that's running for office, okay, that a second person that was running for office that the second person, I'm sorry, that was running for office, got sidetracked there, that their questioning came into question yesterday, their residency. Frank Moore brought it up. So we got to see what the answer is to Barbie Gerald's answer to this. She said she needed 2 days for the decision. Give her a couple days. But I'll tell you what, no matter what decision she makes, it will be entirely almost impossible for her to come out of it on the upside. Because if this lady was to happen to rule, this is her big decision. And Frank Moore questioned all day yesterday, what gave this person the authority to do this? Because the city charter says that the council could call witnesses and so forth. So there's a lot of things that Frank Moore entered. Okay, if you think Frank Moore, Jane Whaley's attorney, entered all of these pieces of documents into evidence, okay, the charter, another person that comes into question whether they legitimately live in the city limits, Miss Whaley's constitutional rights being violated in this matter. There's so many legal things that Frank Moore brought up that look like they're ready to be challenged no matter what if this decision goes against Miss Whaley. But if Barbie Gerald was to happen to make a decision for Jane Whaley to run, oh Lord, I feel sorry for I just feel so sorry for that lady, what hell she would probably go through from council member, or maybe allegedly go through.